God bless each and every one of you. Thank you all for tuning in with us on tonight on a Tuesday Night Live. I pray that you all had a blessed and safe weekend for those River family and for all of us who have just went back to work started yesterday. I pray you all have had a couple of great days thus far. Okay, everybody, as we get ready to go into tonight's teaching is called Manage Your Favor. Manage Your Favor. So I'd like to thank everyone for coming in and tuning in with us. As we get ready to go into tonight's teaching, we're going to begin reading from we're going to Genesis chapter 39, and I'm going to read verses 1 through 4, and then I will begin to dive right on into some notes I feel that the Lord will allow me to share and give over to those of you who have tuned in with us on tonight. Let's go right on into it. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down hither. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him and made him overseer over his house, and all that he put into his hands. For the sake of time, everyone on tonight, we're going to stop right there and go right on into this. Manage your favor. I need those of you to catch this one right here. Manage your favor. As the Lord will deal with me on this one, let's look at this in this manner here. When the Lord gives you and I favor or grace, here's what he's doing. And we will be able to point this out just a little bit more throughout the life of Joseph. And see, when God gives favor or grace to individuals, and he allow you to go, or he's shifting you or moving you into another direction that possibly you didn't even know. Watch this, you're going to have to manage that favor or manage that grace. Let's look at Joseph's life. We just read here that Joseph was now taken out of his hometown by the name of Canaan. And see, Joseph was just thrown in a pit by way of his brothers. And see, Joseph also, when you go back to Genesis chapter 37, you can see that the Lord gave Joseph two dreams to let him know his past and what his future was going to look like. And see, right there, I really believe that God's favor, his grace was already upon Joseph's life. And see, for many of you right now, some of you have been feel like you have been going through some things in your life, and you've been wondering, well, how come I had to experience this? How come I had to go through that? And see, right here, just like Joseph, the Lord didn't tell Joseph that before he got to his place of purpose and destiny, that God's favor or his grace that was on his life was going to cause Joseph to experience a pitfall. He didn't tell Joseph that, watch this, that you was going to be in the company of strangers. You was going to be in a band or a group of others who was going to take you away from your hometown. And see, all of this was still part of what God's grace and also his favor. And see, Joseph didn't know these things, but watch this. Not only did Joseph experience some pitfalls, not only did Joseph find himself being in a group of strangers against his own will, but Joseph also found himself also being stuck in certain places and areas of his life. I know many of you right now, if you really be honest and just say, yes, that's crazy, I have found myself in life. I have felt myself. It seemed like I may have had some pitfalls. It seemed like I was in a group of, and I feel like I was a stranger in certain areas. And it also seemed like I found myself, I may not have been in prison, but I felt like I have been in areas that made me feel like I was stuck. I felt like I couldn't move. I felt like I couldn't do things like how I wanted to do. I just felt like the walls or the room was closing in on me, like everything just had me in a box. And see, right there, that's still part of God's favor. And see, for whoever you are on tonight, you have to recognize and understand when God's hand is on you, his favor and his grace, those are certain emotions or certain feelings or certain things that you may encounter along the way. And see, why did the Lord give? See, he gave Joseph, let's stick with Joseph, he gave Joseph this grace and also this favor. Why? Because the Lord knew Joseph along your journey, my son, I'm going to have to continue to develop you. And see, I don't have, for the sake of time, I will talk about this one. There's one point where there's 3 points where Joseph received favor, and he had to be able to manage this favor correctly. Now, 2 of those was in Egypt. He had to manage the favor with the warden in prison, and he also had to manage that level of favor in Potiphar's house. But the one we're going to talk about tonight, for the sake of time, is Joseph still had to be able to manage favor while he was still in Canaan in his father's house. And see, when Joseph was still young at the time. Even though he had that favor, and we can see that Joseph had favor all on him, it was all around him. His father made him a coat of many colors. And see, right there, Joseph, that was a sign to him that he had favor. He had favor from the Lord. He also had favor from his father. And see, for somebody on tonight, you're going to have to be able to manage your favor. So let me give you a quick breakdown of what managing favor is. Managing favor is only being able to manage relationships or manage favor. You're going to have to be able to manage people and also the relationship. When he was still back in Canaan with his brothers, he was given some favor, and I don't want to say it was given to him too soon. No, it was at the right time, because see, watch this. God already had a plan. He already knew that, Joseph, I got to get you out of here. Watch me, because I know the heart and the minds of others who you might be around. So Joseph, eventually I'm going to have to get you up out of here, so I'm going to allow my grace and favor is going to stir up some things within this group that you're around. Because see, Joseph, you can't stay here. So see, for many of you right now, you've been wondering how come you had to uproot, why you had to leave, why you had to go to other places outside of where it may have felt comfortable to you. Well, let me share something with you. For many of you right now, the Lord will use, He will use anything that He can that is going to get you in position so that way He can fulfill His purpose and His plan. He will even use discord. He will allow somebody to dislike you. He will allow somebody to even hatred. He will allow envy, jealousy. He will allow those things to move you in the proper place that He needs for you to be. And it's all because it's not that He's giving a pass to those things. But see, the Lord got to get you in position. And see, for many of you right now, you have to be able to manage this favor that you're walking with. You have to be able to manage this favor that you're carrying. And see, for many of you right now, you've been asking God for favor. You've been asking God for grace. And you've been asking Him for this. And He's saying, I'm not going to give you no new favor. I'm not going to give you no new grace. Here's why. Because you didn't finish handling or getting all of or handle my favor properly that I gave to you 1 or 2 years ago. So you still have to fix that favor and manage that favor before I can give you another level of favor. And see, God's favor is going to be like in Romans chapter 1. That favor is going to go in levels. It's going to continue to go in steps. And see, for many of you, you're asking God for a new level of favor and grace. And He's saying, you ain't even finished managing this favor yet. So I'm not going to give you no new favor. I need for whoever you are tonight, get this favor that the Lord already gave to you years ago. And see, some of you, you have to go back because you mishandled some relationships. And see, when you mishandle those relationships, see, the Lord is looking at you and see, you wonder why doors have not opened for you yet. Because the Lord said, you mishandled my favor. And see, mishandling my favor is mishandling my people. And see, they don't belong to you, they belong to me. But I'm trying to work through you to get you where you need to be also, because it's going to be a work in progress for them. And see, this is why I really feel the Lord had to also allow Joseph, he experienced a pitfall while he was still yet in Canaan. But see, the Lord was already at work trying to say, okay, I got to get you out of here. And he was already in favor, walking in favor. But now it's time for Joseph to leave. And see, I love how the Lord was doing this. The Lord had allowed Joseph to receive free travel to his place of purpose and destiny. But before he could get to that place of purpose and destiny, watch this. The Lord had to allow Joseph to be protected and also have safety while he was being transported to Egypt. We know the end of the story, but the Lord just could not allow Joseph to be thrown in the pit and then allow his brothers to pull him out and then tell him to flee. No, that would have easily could have caused something else worse to happen. And see, one thing about the Lord, he's not going to let anything destroy or happen to his investment. And see, the Lord made an investment in Joseph. And see, for many of you right now, the Lord has made some key investments within you. And see, that investment, he's saying you're going to get there. You got to believe by faith that what the Lord placed on the inside of you, he's going to get you there. He's going to get you there safely, and you're going to be protected when he gets you there as you're being transitioned or as you're shifting by way of him transporting you. He may use other vessels that don't believe like you. He may use other vessels that don't look like you. He may use other vessels that don't even think or act or behave anything like you to get you in position. And see, you got to understand something. See, it was dangerous out there being able to travel from Canaan to Egypt. See, there could be pirates out there. There could be wild beasts out there. There could be people, robbers and thieves. And see, if Joseph could have gotten, if he would have struck out, if the Lord would have sent him that way by himself, see, now that would have been a whole nother, just like what his brothers did. Look at what his brothers told their father. A wild beast came and devoured him. So the Lord had to, let me fix all of this. I'm going to allow them to, hey, send him with these band of Ishmaelites. Now they're going to offer safety and they're going to also offer some protection. Because Joseph, I got an investment in you. And see, for many of you on tonight, the Lord have a major investment in you. And see, that's why right now, many of you found yourself possibly feeling like you're around some strangers. You probably find like strangers were on your job, in the marketplace, wherever you might be, wherever the spirit of where you're at on a daily, in the run of a day. And see, you might feel like you're all alone. You might feel like you're by yourself. But see, the Lord needs you to understand something, that I'm at work here. And see, I need you to only manage my favor. And see, many of you right now, continue to keep pressing forward and go back. And see, many of you, before you can even think of getting that next level of favor on your life, the Lord wants me to tell you on tonight, I really believe this strongly, that he needs some of you. You got to go back and you got to fix some relationships that you have messed up. Because see, his favor, that's part of that favor that he placed on your life. He needs you to go back, fix it, repair it. And look, that don't mean, look, all you got to do is do your part. Let him do the rest. But when he sees that you have enough faith, trust, and believe in him to go back, do your part, now he's going to give you another extended level of grace and favor for your next level. And see, many of us right now, we've been asking for another level of favor. And the Lord, see, here we go again. Just like Joseph. You think Joseph did? You think he wanted to be thrown away and be sent off with them band of Ishmaelites? But see, watch this. The Lord was, Joseph, you can't stay here. Watch this. Yes, you have favor from your father. But see, Joseph, you're immature right now, Joseph. And see, Joseph, how you're not perfect and you're not that bad, Joseph. But watch this. You're immature right now. So, Joseph, I have to get you out of here because, see, these brothers of yours, yes, you already saw they done threw you in that pit. So, Joseph, my job, I have to get you out of here now. And see, for many of you right now, you know you're ready to go to that next phase, that next level. You're going to have to go back. You're going to have to square away some relationship that you messed up. And know all of it was not your fault. But the Lord ain't worried about it, whose fault it was. He just want to know, do you have enough love in you so that way, do you have enough love? See, that's how the Lord do it. How much hate can you love through? And see, that's what he's looking at. Because see, all you're doing when you can go back and when you can fix and repair some things, all he's going to do is just continue to extend more grace. He's going to only continue to extend more love. He's going to only be able to continue to extend more favor over your life as he continues to keep shifting you further. So as we see and understand this, Joseph was now being transported to Egypt free of charge. He didn't have to worry about paying no money. Nobody didn't have to. It was nothing there. All he had to do was just go. But watch this. He was going against his own will. He didn't ask to go. And see, watch this. Even though Joseph was in the midst of a bunch of strangers, watch this. It was still part of God's favor and his mercy. Because see, the other thing could have happened. Joseph could have lost his life. But the Lord said, no, I ain't done with you yet. Because see, there's a purpose and a plan that's still already spoken in existence. I have already given you a dream. I showed you it already. So I have to get this thing done. So I'm going to extend mercy to you, Joseph. I'm going to give this favor to you. And see, favor all the time is not going to come in comfortable situations. See, that's why I really believe that all of us at certain times of our life, when we extend or when we going through certain things, we don't even know that you still walking in God's favor. You're still walking in his favor, even though a circumstance or situation arises. He's only continuing to build you. He's only continuing to strengthen you. He's only continuing to prepare us for that next level that he's already got prepared already. He just got to get us there. But before he can get us there, we got to get ourselves together and manage this level of favor. Many of you right now, you're dripping in favor. You got favor. You got God's favor. It's all on you. But the one key thing, many of you, why you felt like you was being stuck is because you didn't manage the people or the relationship properly. And that's a quick way of allowing the Lord to allow you to be stuck in that one area until you finally realize, wake up, smell the coffee, and understand what he's up to. So he loves somebody on tonight. He's allowing me to bring this word to whoever you are on tonight. You know that God's hand of favor and grace is all on you. But he's saying to you on tonight, manage his favor by managing the relationship and managing people. Because many of you right now, you didn't do that, not in your first early beginning. But he's saying on this front, he's preparing to shift you and launch you off to where you always had needed to be. So Joseph received free travel. He received protection. No charge. And so you got to understand something. Many of you right now, please hear me. You're riding with the Lord. He made a deposit into you. And being he made a deposit into you, he made an investment in you. And so being that he did these things in you, to you, he's got to protect this. So while you're moving forward on the upward way, as you're going forward in your life's journey, remember, you're riding with the Lord. And as you're riding with him, watch me, he didn't tell us that it was going to be easy. But the scripture do says that, look, you will experience trials and tribulations. But always remember, Lord, you said you're not going to put no more on me than I can bear. You just need me to manage your favor while I'm going through or while I'm in the middle of this. Keep pressing forward. Joseph had a free ride to a place that was going to one day going to need him. He received free travel. Who I'm talking to him tonight? Manage your favor. Manage God's favor that he has given to you. This favor that's all on your life. Manage this favor. Someone who's around you, you got to manage them. You're going to have to even manage, because see, watch this. In the midst of God protecting you, also even in the midst of you riding with the Lord, you're going to still have to be able to manage that favor. Manage it. All of us, those of you watching me on tonight, manage your favor. I mean, manage your favor at home, on your job, wherever you at church, wherever you go to service at. For those of you, the guests who will be viewing this, manage your favor. Those of you who are at the river, manage your favor. You have to manage your favor. And see, when you understand that managing your favor that the Lord gave you, when you find yourself in God's word, you will really see that, watch this, managing favor also comes with its challenges. Managing God's favor, it don't just come in a bed of roses. You're going to manage his favor, that means it's going to have some good and it's going to have some distasteful times, but you still got to be there and manage it. Because that's why he's hand-selected you for such a task or an assignment, because he needs you to manage that relationship and also manage whatever it is, those people who you are around. Manage that favor. I don't know who I'm talking to on tonight. Some of them feeling stressed and worrying because you feel like you may have been in last place. All because you've been feeling like, man, I've been going through this thing, I've been going through that thing. Well, let's stick with the scripture. Let's look at Joseph. And let me bring it home this way. Pharaoh already had musicians who were used to be able to possibly tell the future or even interpret dreams. They were already there. But I need somebody to catch this one on tonight. Joseph was the last one that Scripture records and lets us see who had that gift or that skill by way of the Lord helping them to be able to do this. Joseph was in last place when he got there. So that way, it was all him by way of the Lord working through Joseph. And he was not there in the beginning with all the rest of the musicians. What am I saying on tonight? What am I saying on tonight? Somebody, you may have been feeling the stress and the worrying, and you may have been feeling like you're in last place, but I'm here to share with somebody on tonight. Last place is about to be the new first. Your last place is about to be the new first. And see, for many of you right now, to see the tide been coming in, it was going in the way of the opposite way against you for a long time. But see, now that tide is ready to turn. And see, the Lord, and see, being that you was last, now you're going to be the one closer to where the blessing is going to be. And see, I like to use this as a metaphor. See, I used to, back in the day when I used to hunt, for all those hunters who might be out there, who might be viewing this. If I'm wrong, hey, let me know. But I used to hunt a lot back in the day. I used to like to catch hogs. I raised hogs for a season. I had a bulldog, and man, look, I trained them to go and catch them. But one thing I love about catching hogs, I look at a lot of videos of guys, some people here in Georgia, people out there in Florida, out there in Texas. And what I notice about a good hunter, he's going to have different groups of dogs when he's trying to especially catch wild boar. See, when he might get that side-by-side or that ATV or have his fixed up truck and he ride out there to the area where he know the hogs are located. See, when he gets to the woods, he don't first just let his main dog get out. No, he got a bunch of dogs out there. They his main ones too. But see, the first group of dogs he let out, those are what we call, those are trackers. Those are the ones who really get out there and, they do all the barking, they do all the tracking, they running them down. They gonna go find the hole. They gonna do all the running. They gonna do the running, they gonna do the barking. They gonna corral the hole. They gonna tire them out. But see, back with the hunter, he got what we'll call the catch dog. So see, that catch dog, a good hunter, he ain't gonna just let his catch dog just go out there and just run with the rest of the herd, with the rest of the group. He ain't trying to tire him out. See, a good hunter knows his catch dog's purpose. So the good hunter, what he gonna do, he gonna keep his catch dog with him. And see, they gonna ride in the four-wheeler or the truck or the side-by-side. They gonna ride and they gonna be listening for when the other dogs begin to bark. Because when they start barking, that means, we got one, we got a corner, we got a corral. And as soon as they get close enough, now you'll see with a hunter, he'll stop. He'll let down that tailgate. Then he'll let the last dog, notice what I said, he'll let the last dog free. Because see, he didn't just want to let the last dog free a mile or two back, because see, he knew that his purpose was too strong. I can't let you do all that running, because see, what you're going to run up into is strong too. Because see, when I get you there, I need you to do the work that I have prepared and trained you for. So what you'll find, that good hunter, he's going to get his dog as close to the action as he could. And when his dog gets to the action, when he get him close in there, then he's going to let his catch dog loose. And his catch dog might have was the last one to be free. But let me say this, even though the catch dog was still with the owner, with the hunter,
How do you think that catch dog felt? That catch dog felt like, man, everybody else deserted, everybody's gone, everybody's doing what I want to do. The catch dog had to stay there and be patient. He had to wait his time. Because see, he didn't know that his master, his owner, was only getting him closer to what the action was going to be. Because he needed him to reserve his energy, reserve your strength. And see, all the time, the master was just suiting him up, putting on his collar, putting on his vest, preparing him for what was about to take place. And when that tailgate dropped, that good owner, that hunter, he'll let that catch dog go. And sooner or later, here we go. Now you're going to show up here, a show enough scream. And all that means was that catch dog, the moral of the story, that catch dog may have been last. But in him being last, he was the main one who was there to catch the prize. Everything else, all the other dogs was only there just to corral or hold that prize in place until the catch dog got there. Many of you right now, you got to wake up that dog that's in you. Because see, many of you wanted your purpose, you wanted your destiny, you wanted it way back then. But see, the Lord already knew you weren't ready for it. You couldn't handle it. But he's letting you know tonight that, see, I'm only getting you closer to it now, like how I'm doing Joseph. See, Joseph was in Canaan, a good ways from Egypt. But the Lord said, no, Joseph, I'm going to give you free travel. You're going to get there free of charge. I know it's going to be uncomfortable. You have to go through and experience some things along the journey, along the way. It's like many of you right now in your life, as you're moving forward in your journey, in your life, the Lord is saying, look, I'm only getting you closer to it. Because see, when I get you closer to it, when you grab for it, you're going to sure enough be able to grab it. You're going to sure enough be able to lock down on it. And you ain't going to let it go. Why? Because you had to wait for it. Why? Because you had to endure for it. That's what I'm talking to on tonight. Don't worry about being last. Because see, last is about to be the new first. Because see how the Lord is about to work this thing. You may have had to wait the longest. But when your season, when your time comes up, it's going to be well worth it in the end. Couple of more of these last couple of minutes that I got left on tonight. You got to manage God's favor for your life. I said you got to manage it. The Lord is trying to get many of you in close position so that you can grab without having to overwork yourself. Learn how to manage God's favor. Because number one, you're riding with Him. God will put you in close range so that as you grab your blessing, you're going to know how to handle it. You're going to know how to deal with it. You're going to know how to work it. You will appreciate it when you grab it this time. The Lord is about to place many of you. Joseph had 2 dreams in his heart. He needed God to put him in the right position so that way he could grab hold of it. And I don't know whoever you are tonight. You have to grab this one. And your number one start is you're going to have to be able to begin to manage God's favor. Remember the catch dog and his purpose. He was last to be released, but he was the one who grabbed the prize. For some of you, you who was last, say again, last is about to be the new first. How was Joseph in last place? There were other magicians there. He was the last one to get there by way of the Ishmaelites. None of the first could do it. So manage God's favor, even though you may be in the midst of a stranger in a new place. My time is up on tonight. If you're not saved, believe in your heart, confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ came, died on the cross for all of our sins, that the Father rose from the grave on that 3rd day. If you're out there and you know you're not saved, ask Jesus to come into your heart. Ask Him to save you. Tell Him you want to be born again. Tell Him you want to be made into a new creation so that way you can begin to live for Him and not yourself. Because He came that we may have life and have it more abundantly. I love you all till we do this again. God bless you. And we'll see you again soon. You all take care till we do this again.
We love you. Have a blessed and amazing rest of your night. God bless you.